That's right. It's the morning show here on ABC News Radio KMET 1490 AM. I'm Aaron Michael Sanchez. We've got a lot going on. I know the world is kind of checking in. I saw some news, kind of interesting. If you love, anything with the water and or missile and or shoot things that are being shot up into the air, this is the time for you, man, because things are going next level in the Pacific. It's the latest news, and I know some of the news outlets were invited out to a. Let's just put it this way: I want to give that information out there to the enemy to be like, "Hey, we're in the Pacific. We're going to Guam." Like everybody's like, "Okay, intercept right there." With missile and or other. Look, they're getting stationed for a reason. They're gonna defend. China's in the news. There are certain people going at it about China, Russia. We said it a while back. We said if China ends up deciding on going and backing up Russia, which for a while there they were on the fence, but others were like, they always go back to back with Russia. I would say, yeah, true, but I hope they don't because everybody's got missile, and now you've got the U.S. with Korea, which is kind of in the middle of it all. Back to China, where's its station, and then you got North Korea doing some stuff. They're sending some stuff high into the air. That's being news. And so all this stuff kind of culminates. You go, what happens in the next few months? And I say, well, that depends on what happens in the next week. There's so much happening that people are going, okay. And then others are acting as though they knew. They don't because they haven't been following the news. And they're like, okay, I know Ukraine and Russia. I know the U.S. has said they would support. I get that. Now they're saying it's a 1 year anniversary, which I go, dude, don't do anniversary. That sounds like, oh, wow, yay, Russia. They've been attacking for 1 year. Let's just put it that way. Anyway, long story short, it's now like all of the media got told, okay, we're now, since we're putting so much money to Ukraine, we need to really make it look good. And now, the next few months, and I think a lot of the U.S. are kind of tired of it, not going to lie. And they're going to be like, okay, why are we going back to like the world of World War One and World War Two, where you saw this stuff, probably even like a trailer before the show, like now in the Navy, and then they would do all this. I don't think we're really the generation for it. I think there's a lot of people who are just like, yeah, I see through that. I don't think what worked then is working now, if that makes any sense. But anyway, that's my story. I'm sticking to it. We got Jess Sanchez over there. Good morning, Jess.
Good morning. Yeah, the moment war is fought with pillows and we can have pillow fights, then I will join. Until then, no.
You're like, no, thank you. Yeah, it's bad. It's bad. When you announce, I think prior to like a certain year, the army was kind of smart. I'll give you an example. We talked about Pentagon this week. We talked about a server literally having no password on it. Like, who does that? It was just like waiting to be found. You know what I mean? So there you go. Which is actually good news to people to get your passwords kind of like taken care of because some of those have been hacked. But if the Pentagon kind of I don't know how to say it, but the people that are doing things right now, I saw somebody post a sign. See, a guy's getting kind of for it, but I kind of go, well, I kind of get it. He posted a sign hiring non-stupid people, and I think I don't know where it's at. I can't find it now. I think I got rid of it. Anyway, I was like, well, there's a lot of people that are just not making sense. So I kind of get that. I kind of get that. So that's the thing. I don't know. What do you think, Jess?
Well, now I'm going to sue him for discrimination against stupid people.
You could be like,
Ha!
I'm stupid. How dare you? Don't call me out, man. Everyone's gonna assume about something. Yeah, good point. Good point. So there's a lot going on, and then there's just you go, okay, I don't know what to do with it. So we're gonna try to have fun going into the week. We know there's a lot of things to do, and maybe you have some ideas. Let us know on social and tell us what it is that's going on. I know there was an event canceled from yesterday. Shout out to LPN and all the crew there, Alejandro Menchaca and his crew. They usually do a event, every single month. They canceled it because of I think probably the rain weather. So this weekend, at least here in LA, I know a lot of you listen like in other parts, and we want to thank you for that. Appreciate that. I know in some parts in the north it is super cold, so a lot of news is coming in on that. In certain areas here in California, they're not ready for the cold, so there's a lot of people like traveling right now, which I say stay home because there's a lot of slush, there's a lot of like sleek, there's a lot of like road like don't travel fast. I know some people do that, and I say, man, unless you have good tires and good, like, some are going to need chains. They're probably not even requesting that right now because it really came all of a sudden. Now obviously we'll get through it. I know some are like, you guys are so extreme there, but we're really not ready for a blizzard, which is happening this week, which is for the next few days. So when they say like 40-mile-per-hour winds, that's bad. When it's with other stuff, it's bad, and especially with snow. So the snow makes everything slippery. So if you're driving right now, just remember, you never know when black ice may form. It could form in like 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the morning and still be there by 6, 7, 8. And if you go speeding and you hit one of those, you may careen off and or to the side and or around, like in a circle. I remember seeing somebody do that right in front of me when I used to go to work over at Wells Fargo. I was a temp, and literally the car in front of me did a 360, and I was like, and then it just took off like straight. I was like, that's kind of cool and kind of weird at the same time. But it was a rainy day. I remember that, and it wasn't the cold that it is now. So I just say, be careful out there. Remember, drive safe. I would even say, Jess, you mentioned it, drive in the slow lane. Don't worry about people going around you because it's just better to be there than. I saw one guy, although I will say this, and I got to say this out there. You guys got to stop doing this, okay? I saw somebody pass. I thought they're gonna. I was in the second lane, right? First lane, second lane, right? The person I thought was gonna pass, like they want to get past me and the person to the right. They say have a certain amount of distance between you and other vehicles, right? And especially now, this person didn't go between me since I was in the second lane and the first car. He went to the right hand side of the little like shoulder and went around him, but he did it in a way that if he didn't judge it right, he would have hit the middle divider, which is on the side, if that makes any sense. There's an off ramp. Sometimes there's like concrete there. He missed that in a way with a good amount of distance. But if he didn't know what was ahead, he would have hit it oncoming, and then he probably would have like messed up, the other vehicles either, and like depending on how he hit it. You know what I mean? So don't pass on the right hand shoulder. I know some of you are doing that. And he was racing with other cars because I saw other cars racing with him. But you got to stop doing that because if you hit that concrete, and sometimes they have concrete on the side that you don't see that's low, you could lose your life and cause life and others just to be, that's it. So going into the week, I say just be careful. Remember, drive, because it's going to be a lot of accidents, Jess. There's so many people doing things. You see big trucks driving in the third and fourth lane. And I'm like, that's not, they technically, if there was a cop there and if the cops actually cared, they would pull them over and give them a ticket and cite them because they're only supposed to be in the first two lanes over a certain amount of, weight. Of course, I know like sometimes they're allowed the third lane if like the first lane is starting to like go off to the right and it's going to like, exit. I get that. But the point is you guys are driving too fast on the roads and that's creating a problem. I saw literally video of this truck just careening. I don't know what happened to the driver, but he went right into one of those blocks, those metal blocks, and his truck split in half. I don't know which outlet has. I just saw it today, and I said, "What?" And I said, "That's what I'm talking. What's going to happen when you hit those things?" So, yeah. But anyway, all right, Jess. I know there's things out there. I will say this. I just saw this, and I think this is kind of good going into the week. And I know it's like, what's going to happen next? I know you're looking forward to Cocaine Bear. I don't know why I'm going to say Concrete Bear, but there you go. Cocaine Bear, right? Which can, have fun on concrete. Anyway, the point is this. Yeah, so I know you're looking forward to that. I saw somebody kind of knock it. I think it's going to be a fun ride. I just say, remember, it's, for a reason, adult. but again, it looks fun. Is there anything else, Jess, that we should look forward to?
I bet you $5 I'm going to see little kids there at Cocaine Bear. But no, other than this movie, I'm actually looking forward to Creed 3 next week, actually. That movie looks really cool.
Oh, I didn't. Oh, yeah. Creed. Yeah, that does look good. That does look good. Now, I will say this, Jess. This picture I think says a lot. What do you think when I say, hey, maybe they might do it this time with DC? What do you think of that?
Um, okay. Who? Wait, what am I looking at? I'm looking at someone with. Wait, is that the actress that plays as Batwoman?
First of all, look at that suit, man. For those of you tuning in on the radio and our audio device or whatever it is, I know we've got a couple things like Alexa and some other stuff, and including the app. Download it. It's free at KMT 1490 AM. I will say this picture really inspired me. Now the headline is a little deceiving, so I may have gotten it wrong, but it says Batwoman writers react to reveal of Red Death in the Flash. Jess, what does that mean? I have a feeling you know. What does it mean, Jess?
Wow. Okay. Was not expecting that. Okay. So
We lost the team over there. Okay, I'm sorry. All right, I'll reconnect with them. So my thing got a little weird. Anyway, look. When you look at that picture, here's what I could say. That picture means a lot. All I could say is, I want it, I need it, and I need it to happen now. Look, Batwoman has been kind of talked about a lot, and this particular picture with that type of suit, you kind of go, wait, what? So there's news on that. I'm trying to get Jess back in the station, but if you're still with us, thank you for staying with us. I'm trying to get him back. I don't know if he's going to commercial or not. It's like my system just said no. I tried to take the video off, and now we're like, ah. So anyway, but this is a thing. So it says Red Death made their long-rumored appearance on the most recent episode of The Flash in DC's comic universe. Red Death is an alternate version of Bruce Wayne who absorbs the Flash's powers using the Speed Force. So that's kind of new. I think it looks exciting. I think it's a thing people need to check out, and I think people will be happy with it. So I don't know, but we'll see. Let's see if we can get Jess back here. And yeah, he went to break. So we got two little things going on. Hopefully we'll get it up and running. I don't know what happened to Skype. I literally pushed a button and it said bye-bye. And I said, no, not that button. What's wrong with you? Anyway, and be careful with updates, by the way. There are so many bugs in the latest software. A lot of people are complaining about it. They're not really being heard. And some people are just not taking to media like they used to. I think they should. I know the iPhone, I've been trying to get the audio to work. My mom kind of figured it out. She goes, you just need to restart it. I said, okay, that makes sense. So there you go. Anyway, you got to be careful out there, and you got to just, be ahead of it all. All right. I'm going to go to a quick little break here. Let's see if we can get back the team. We'll be right back.
Com. Go to the homepage, click on the SoundCloud tab, and hear any show anytime you want.
That's right. We are here. It is the morning show here on ABC News Radio KMET 1490 AM. I will say this. We had a little bit of a snafu. I will say Skype is a problem sometimes, and I'll say that outwardly. And if you have an update coming, it's a long one, man. It's like a good 30 to 40 minutes. I did it last week. I was upset that I did. I pushed a button that was like, when you share your screen, I pushed that, and then I pushed it again, and it said bye bye, and I'm like, so I know people have been having problems with Zoom, they've been having problems with Skype, they've been having problems with like websites. So I say, get your developers up to speed because we're getting sick of it. All right. Anyway, that's all I'm going to say. We got Jess Sanchez over there. Jess, what's going on?
Yes, yes. I didn't realize you dropped. I was discussing what the picture you were showing me.
Yeah, you know what? And I want to discuss that. I just know we have other news. What's going on?
Oh my God. So this was it happened a few days ago. It wasn't a big story, but the fact that they turned it into a big story was actually very amusing. Did you hear about a giant mysterious ball that washed up on a Japanese shore?
Ball on a Japanese shore. No, I feel like it's a joke coming, but go ahead.
Oh, no, 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 it's not a joke. So it's like 4 feet tall. It's huge, and it's a giant metal sphere. People thought it was like a sea mine, one of those that explode in the ocean.
Yeah, that
Uh,
makes sense.
yeah, so they scanned it. It was nothing. But the moment I saw it, I instantly knew what it was because I was like, I see the little protrusions there. It looks like a mooring buoy, but obviously they haven't seen one of this design, so it doesn't look like theirs. But you know what I'm talking about? Those giant things that bounce in the ocean.
Yeah, I actually do. That makes sense. I would say for the people that know this, and since everybody, I saw footage. I don't know if it's real. In Vegas, they said UFO sighting and with balloons in the air. What, Jess? Come on, go with me on this. Go with me on this. Here it is. Here, like if you saw this on the beach, you see how they're approaching with like a bomb squad. They're like, I think they thought it was a mine at the beginning, but it looks like an egg, Jess. What if it's a dragon egg? Or a dinosaur egg? What if it's that? What if we think it's a more and it's not, Jess? And it would hit Japan because, I mean, if you think Godzilla and you think everything that's ever been, Jess, think about it.
Oh my God, this would be a great gag to make like a fake egg, put in the ocean, and just have someone hatch out. But yeah, no, that would be devastating. Of course, it always happens to happen to Japan. It's like, oh my God. But
Oh, I guess I'm wrong. It was made of iron. Right. Yeah, it was made. I could dream. Come on. I know there's so many Game of Thrones people out there that are like, let it be an egg, man. Let it be a dragon. It's right there. Like, I'm ready to hatch. Let's see. Just what?
okay, as much as I would love to see a dragon, that would instantly put us at the bottom of the food chain.
Yeah, I think it would be cool. Whoever has, look, you've seen Game of Thrones, right?
Oh yes, yes. The world where if you're a good guy, you're gonna get stabbed in the back. But yeah, yeah, okay.
Yeah, but whoever has a dragon as a little one rules, man.
That is true. That is true. But you're assuming that you could control it, and I highly doubt it. But well, I don't know.
I don't know. I've seen some footage recently. I showed my mom some stuff, and I watched this one. I've talked about Luna. Okay, the panther. Luna has like a friend. It's a little dog. He's like a Rottweiler, but him and the dog are like forever. Like there's a woman that actually like raises this panther. It's so cute. You got to follow on social media. Anyway, it says here, yes, it was a mysterious sphere. It appeared on the beach in Japan. People don't know how it got there. It appeared on Inshu Beach in the coastal city of a place I don't want to say because it might mess it up. It's unclear when it went there. A resident reached out to police about the object after spotting it on the sand. It's said to be about 5 feet in diameter, according to the report. It still looks like an egg, guys. It looks like a big dinosaur egg. I'm just saying.
I mean, if I didn't know it was a buoy and I've never seen ones that look like that, I guess I would assume it was an egg. But
What are they saying it is?
what? They said it's some type of buoy. They're like it's not one of ours. So, but you would think you've seen something like this. I mean, it has little hooks on it. So
It says
I don't.
the object will be examined by the Japanese Self-Defense Forces and Coast Guard. Let's see. All right. So they're kind of keeping it out. I'd say it's an egg, man. They're just saying it's iron. They're just saying it, Jess. What? I could dream. All right, Jess. What else is going on in the world?
Yeah, I don't want that to be a thing. That would be horrible. It's bad enough they're gonna make like yeah, we've seen Jurassic Park. We don't need the Jurassic Park to come to the real world.
We need dragons, man. I want dragon. What? Dragon would be
Have you
fun. Think about it.
Yeah, until they go crazy. Okay, oh my god.
No, dragon don't go crazy. If anything, you go, "Where's Mama?" And it goes over there, and then it comes out, "Rah!" And then you're dead.
Yeah, okay.
What?
Let's switch to somebody else. Something else.
Okay.
Okay, you always talk about me being crazy. I don't want to live with dragons. Okay. Oh my god. Why is this guy in the news again? R. Kelly's in the news. Why? Why do we care?
I think
Oh,
dragon R. Kelly. Just feed him to. What?
okay, this is a great-
Goodbye.
Good idea. Get rid of all our bad people by feeding it to the dragon.
Yeah,
but,
why
no,
not? They used to do it
yeah.
way when, right? It's a movie, right?
that is true. That is true. That is true. But yeah. So R. Kelly was sentenced to even more prison time again.
I don't know why
I like-
we're following that. It's like, how old is the guy? He has how many years so far?
He has at least his skeleton will turn to dust by the time he comes out.
Yeah, he's got. Let's see, how much time did he get? He's got. What happened to the 30 years? How come he got? Did he get 20 years on top of the 30? Like, what happened? Because I remember they were gonna add a year for something, and then like, you know what I mean? Like, what's going on there?
I don't know. This whole thing is just weird. And it's like, why is it even a story? It's like he's gonna be in prison for the rest of his life unless he's gonna get out. And in which case, I want to know. And this way, we can follow him.
Yeah,
We don't need on anybody else.
yeah. I mean, I don't know how to say it, but it's like, okay. I mean, people have said for some time that he was guilty. I think the latest was child pornography or something. I was like, okay. But I'm kind of like, all right, why are we still on this? Like, just give the guy time, and then put him in. It's simple, He's guilty. We got it. Why do we need more? You know what I mean?
Exactly. I'm just like tired of it. It's like if someone's gonna go away for the rest of their life, don't make a new story out of it. Just throw them in jail. I don't want to know.
Yeah, well, I'm like, okay, and I get it. Like, we're attacking on, I think somebody else. What was his name? Oh, the Weinstein guy. He got time, too. So everybody's getting their time. I don't know why it takes so long to get them, like, sentenced. Like, others, it's quick and fast. I don't know what takes so long. But there he is, Mr., I'm not guilty. Yeah, well, so there you go. Yeah, I don't know what to do with that, Jess. I really don't.
Yeah, neither do I. I'm gonna switch to this story real quick. And you remember how I said, were you talking about? Wait, what was it? How I wanted to sue the guy for discriminating against stupid people?
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, you can sue anybody for anything. Okay.
Yeah.
So this man, he claims he won the $2 billion Powerball that was sold in Altadena.
Okay.
Did you hear about that? He said it was stolen from him.
Yeah, I saw it. I didn't read it. What was the update on that?
From what it says it was stolen from him and is now attempting to sue the person who claimed the jackpot, which is why are we allowed to go anonymous when we claim the lottery? Because if that's the case, I want to do that one day.
I'm not gonna lie. The only way I think it was the smartest thing ever, and I said this. The smartest thing, because they actually put it out there. It's actually like one of those things. I don't know why, because it ruins people's lives. But I saw one person, and I don't remember if you remember this, but they wore a suit when they collected, and did they wear a scream suit too? And it was like it was the smartest thing, right? It was the smartest thing. But if you go missing just one day, and then you show up in a suit, and your name happens to be Jesse or Jesus Sanchez, I'd be like, that's Jesse. I know who it is. And you'd be like, it's not me. But then you quit the next day, and I go, dude, that's so you. And then I see you driving around with a super like a Lamborghini, or I don't know what your car of choice is. Or I saw a motorcycle that drives itself. I was like, are you kidding me? We're there. So I was like, yeah, it's pretty cool. Anyway, my point is this. So what happened, Jess?
Yeah, no. So the man is claiming that was actually his lotto ticket and the guy was stole it from him, but the guy was all like, no, this is my ticket. So this way If you ever get a ticket, sign it immediately. This way, boom, it's yours.
But isn't it easy just to say, look, because I know they've done this before. Oh, unless they got rid of it. That makes sense. But they've done this before where they actually say, okay, you see that person? That's the person who collected because they have like recording of that. So is that like not a thing? So, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it doesn't say if they know each other or not, so it's kind of weird.
Yeah.
But you know what? Anybody can sue anybody for anything. Doesn't mean they're gonna get what they want.
Yeah. That's it. Wow. Well, you know, I don't know if he has a case. If he's going at it, does he have a case? I would say this. I'm always afraid of this. All right, I am because it's like okay, you never know. You know, I've seen someone give away a lottery ticket a couple times. I was like, oh, that's interesting, and the person's like, thank you. You know, and I'm like, why is that person giving away a ticket? Like, why would you do that? But then I thought, oh, maybe he's like being nice about it. But yeah, I don't know. That was a $2 billion jackpot. I didn't even know that was local. That's Altadena, Jess. Wasn't
I
there
know, right?
another one sold in Altadena? Man, there's got to be like a lot of people at the Altadena store. Isn't that the second one, Jess? Or was that no? There was like, yeah, it wasn't, or is that the same one? I don't know. I get them confused.
All I know is I'm not winning, so what's up? I mean, if I won the lotto, I'd still be here. I'd be working. Gives me
Yeah.
something.
Well, at least the guy that got the money can like have like a good legal team. We can afford it $2 billion, right? What's the math on? I think if somebody did the math on that, they said he really gets if he takes a full thing about 1.3. How does that say? Let's see. If it's 2 billion, 1.3. How is it that much?
You know what? You know what? You guys don't even figure the math. Just give me a
Yeah,
billion.
1.3 billion.
Let's
Yeah,
see.
I was like, all right, awesome. Now I can like do this, that. But I think people would come back in my life, and I'd be like, go away. I don't want you. Like you didn't want me then, and I don't think you want me now. Go away. So I don't really know, but I think people come out of the woodwork for a reason.
What
So
would what? Okay, just curious. What would you do with $1 billion if you actually won the lotto or something like that?
I think I said it a couple times, but here's what I would do. Okay, number one, I would make sure everybody was paid off that I ever owed through life. Okay, and some, I still owe some money too. All right, so I'm like, okay, I'm accounting for that. Number two, I would buy real estate. Obviously, that's big on that. I wouldn't buy a mansion because it's too difficult to keep up. I don't like mansion, and it's too empty. So I don't know. No. And number three, I would invest. You know the book that I went ahead and did, big shameless time to promote that. I would probably invest. You know how certain ones take. There's a couple of really good guys out there which they invest in certain businesses, they help turn them around, then they make a profit. I would do that. So I would make it go far, if that makes sense. So there's the book, How to Start a Business in a Down Economy. I wouldn't go vacation right away because I have some things like I would want to like address, and then I'd like send anonymous checks to people and see what they do with it, and be like, okay, and then it depending on what they would do would depend on what I do next, and then that would depend on how like things go forward, and see like are you in it for the right reason or the wrong reason? Because some people have really since 2020 gone like south, but that's if I won. But yeah, I don't think I'm gonna win anytime soon, so I think it's a dream, Jess. What would you do?
Well, mine seems out there. Okay, first off, I'd buy an island, a nice size island. Okay,
How
and
much are those going for, Jess? Because I'm pretty sure they're worth more than like, a
no,
couple
see,
mil.
no, they're actually quite reasonable. I've been price checking islands. Don't ask me why. Like I said,
You're
I
preparing? Oh, Jess, don't go away,
I look at a
please.
lot of weird things on the internet, and I do price check islands. But no, I want to ride a giraffe.
I can see you in a suit, be like, wait, a giraffe? What?
That change your subject, huh? You don't want to ride a giraffe?
Well, I don't think a giraffe wants me to ride in. If that makes any sense. I saw two giraffes go at it. They headbutted each other with those big pointy things. And I'm like, that's what you do with them? And I'm like, and they were like, causing wounds in each other. So I'm like, giraffes are like not nice. I thought they were always nice. What's going on there? So you would do like a Serengeti thing or what?
If anything, I would buy an island and employ it, like make it like sustainable so I can live there without anybody, but I also have bring like people there so they can help maintain the island. They can live there for free. They can get whatever they want. just don't murder me. Um,
It's weird that you went there, man. You're employing them. Why would they murder you, Jess?
because that's how it always goes.
Okay, that makes sense. Look. I think you want Jurassic Park on that island. I think you would invest in that guy, and you'd be like, hey, why Mammoth? When you could do something really cool. And what dinosaur would you bring back to life? I'm telling you, dragon.
Dragon. If anything, I'd bring back some interesting mammals. Say, like, let's bring back the giant sloth, the jumbo ones, or let's bring back those
Well, you want to bring a sloth back? Why a sloth, Jess?
a giant sloth. Well, I don't want to bring back animals that could like destroy.
I didn't know
me.
there was a giant. You want a sloth because he moves slow. You're like, I see you coming, sloth. I am a giant sloth. I'm coming at you. I never seen a giant sloth, Jess.
Yeah, if you look them up, they look really cool. But yeah, no. If I was to bring back animals, I don't want to bring back anything that can hunt people. That's just wrong. And yeah, I don't need to make. I was gonna be like a saber-tooth tiger, but no, that's a no.
You're like, he's gonna want me. All right, look, I get it. All right, let's go to the story that I want to talk about, but Skype doesn't always work on our end. And yes, we use Skype for our broadcast, just so you know. It works usually really good. But here you go. Okay, so before the break, we got a little disconnected. I showed this picture, all right, and I want to bring some awareness to it because at first I thought, oh, this is going to be the thing in the new movie. And I thought, oh my God, and I thought, okay, because DC kind of canned some of the, bat things. And I'm like, okay, so I was a little upset by that. Now this particular article, let's put it this way. I think with that suit, I'm ready for her to be the Bat Beyond girl. I didn't even know it was a thing, Jess.
Oh, you talk about the Red Death?
Yeah, Red Death. Yeah.
Okay, so Red Death is now Batman Beyond. Red Death is kind of like in the comic books or storyline. Bruce Wayne ends up killing the Flash, kind of, and absorbing.
What?
Yeah. So he in that universe, he kind of like absorbs the Flash, takes his powers, and becomes like, a not so good Batman. So think somebody with Batman's intelligence and Flash's speed, and this guy is not a good guy at all. So very dangerous.
Okay, well, we'll say this, okay, and this is good for people that follow. I'm not gonna lie, I haven't followed, but I know people were upset because I remember Batwoman had the other girl, right, and then she got hurt really bad on the set, and shout out to the basically her because and then she's like, forget, I'm not doing it anymore, and then they went with another direction. Is this that girl? Because they brought her back, I think, right?
Yes, this is the same woman who portrayed as Batwoman in the series. I think
Yeah,
she was
because
in 3.
I have not seen any of those, by the way.
Neither
I
have
don't
I.
watch TV. I have to see it on streaming devices, pretty much. And when it's there, I'll probably check it out now. Because this is a cool suit, and it says played by Javicia Leslie. I apologize if I said that name wrong. Wilder was seen in the Batwoman season 3 finale, but she returned to the Flash as Red Death, and no one was happier to see her than Batman writers, meaning she has like a life to live in the DC verse. So I say, yay. My point is this: that suit is so awesome. They need to bring all the suits that they do into the movie version, and then just do that, and then bring it all together. Since everybody's doing like multiverse now. Ever since Marvel started, everybody's doing multiverse, including like Magic and other things are going multiverse. Like, okay, that explains everything. But it says here that the Batwoman writers' room expressed disappointment that they could not work with her again. They praised her for nailing the line, "I am vengeance," upon unmasking herself as Red Death. The account tweeted, "Our heart aches that we're not working, with her. But honestly, seeing her grow and shine bright this past year makes up for the heartache just a little bit." I say this: they could bring it back. I don't know why they're like, "Oh, we're gone," because they can continue this kind of in a cool way. You know what I mean? I think the fact that they brought her back is pretty cool for fans. And again, that suit, man, she's killing it.
Yeah, she really is. But you got to remember, this is the final. They're trying to get rid of the CW shows, so they're squashing them all. This is the final season for the Flash, so that's why I believe this is the last show that's up and running now.
Well, they gotta stop that. They got, they're young for a reason. They could keep going. And I get it. Sometimes they go, okay, what else do we do? And I go, just look to the comic writers You know, sometimes the writers on these shows are not comic writers. Go back to the comic writers. They will tell you where to take it because they know this stuff. They can keep it years going, right? But go to the comic writers, get away from the writers that write for TV, or bring them all into the same room and say, okay, oh, we didn't see that coming, because they got some real smart stuff there. But there you go. That's my story. I'm sticking to it. So if you haven't seen any latest, which I haven't, I got caught up on The Flash, honestly, on Netflix for the first, like, how many seasons are they into, Jess?
Oh my God. I think I stopped watching after 4, but I think they're at 9.
Yeah, okay. But I will say this. I saw like a clip, and I don't want to see it until I see it at the movie theater. The latest Flash movie, right? I saw a clip, and it went right back to the story that I know you talk about. And I'm like, but the CW did it first. So why are they like repeating that? I could be wrong, but it's like that house again is in, you know what I mean? Like, why? Unless they're bringing everybody from the CW to them. But I don't think they're going to do that because they keep TV separate than movie. But I think they need to do it, you know? I would pay to see Tom Welling back as Super, right? And they, like, you know what I mean, Jess?
I'm not gonna lie, I love Smallville. Tom Welling was awesome. I think he also has a podcast.
Does
with
he?
Michael Rosenbaum, where they talk about stuff on Smallville and stuff.
Can we be on that? We do podcasts as well here at the station. For those watching, if you want to like subscribe, it's, you know, but whatever. KBT 1490 AM, that's where we're at. Anyway, look, here's my point. They need to keep it going, and they need to keep it, and you know, we could talk this. I could talk this. I could even talk about how they can make money at this. They know how to make money? Well, then do it. But anyway, there you go. Tom, can you just call us? Really? Does he have a podcast? We should promote it. Can we have him here on the show? We'll do like a crossover promotion. What do you think?
That would be awesome. That would be awesome. I know they were talking about like kind of like reviving the series, and I think it would either be in animated form, but you know what? If they can get a live action, that would be even cooler.
Look, they already did with Spider. All right, they already did all Tobey Maguire, McFarlane. They did all the Spider. Right? They're doing Spider-Verse. I get that. They're gonna combine them all. Spider-Verse, I think, was really the first iteration of the multiverse kind of shattering and then bringing all the spiders together before the one with Tobey Maguire and McFarlane and, you know, all the rest. They just need to bring Gwen in on that. That'd be kind of cool. But the point is this. Yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of stuck on the whole Tom is doing a show on Fox because I like that guy. I've always liked him. So I think he needs to go next level, and I think we need to see it. All right, we need to take a break. We'll be back with more right after these messages. Call us, Tom.
Standard Time is here. That means shorter days and cooler nights that make you want to stay inside. Don't get caught in the cold. Franklin Mechanical Systems can do a preventative maintenance check on your heating unit. Get it working right. For cleaning, repair, or a new installation, call them for a free estimate. Franklin Mechanical Systems, for all your residential and commercial heating and air conditioning needs. Call their Beaumont office at 951-845-1000. That's 951-845-1000, and stay warm today.
The Holiday Inn Express and Suites in Banning is distinctively suited for your travel time out of the car. Off the road, you'll find a courteous, welcoming staff and spacious rooms with desks, flat-screen HD TVs, and comfortable furnishings. Enjoy the complimentary breakfast buffet, high-speed internet, and fitness center and pool. The Holiday Inn Express and Suites in Banning, conveniently located off the I-10 near golf, gaming, and entertainment. For reservations and information, call 951-572-5500. That's 951-572-5500, or go online at hiebanning.com.
Hi everyone, this is Bernadette, the host of One Life Radio, your #1 source for alternative and holistic health since 2011. One Life Radio is designed to educate and inspire. Visit us at oneliferadio.com because you get one body, you get one mind, and you get one life. Get out there today and make the most of it. Tune in weekdays at 1 p.m. on 1490 KMET Smart Talk, ABC News Radio.
The Fat Greek in Yucaipa, where you can get authentic, delicious, true Greek food. Authentic gyros, Greek salads, pitas, falafel, hamburgers, burritos, and oh yes, baklava. The Fat Greek has a large selection of wines, ice-cold domestic, and imported Greek beers. Come on down to the Fat Greek located on Yucaipa Boulevard in the city of Yucaipa. Open 10 a.m. to 9 p.m. 7 days a week. The Fat Greek has delivery, drive-through, sit-down, and a catering service. So bring in a family or give Nicholas and Christopher a call at 909-797-6018. Eat Greek, live long. Remember, if you want authentic Greek food, it's the Fat Greek in Yucaipa.
When you want the best performance for your vehicle, think only of Scott's Headers and Mufflers in Beaumont, right off the I-10 and 60 freeways. Check out Scott's complete list of performance products on their website at hdrinfo.com. Scott's Headers and Mufflers can recommend ways for your car or truck to get better gas mileage and cut down on emissions. Need your car or truck to pass smog only? Go to Scott's Headers and Mufflers in Beaumont. Find out all of your questions on vehicle performance by logging on to hdrinfo.com. Scott's Headers and Mufflers in Beaumont, hdrinfo.com.
Everybody loves to hear what Grandpa has to say because Grandpa speaks with wisdom. Here on KMET, Saturday morning at 9 a.m. Be sure to listen.
Welcome back. Yes, it is the morning show here on ABC News Radio KMET 1490 AM. Jess, can I dream?
You can. Depends on what it is. I might have to squash it, but go ahead.
Oh, don't. I talked about, war at the beginning of this, and then I saw this. This just came in, by the way. And I say, you know what, please do so, because the last time I kind of, was hopeful Russia attacked when they said, oh, let's talk peace. And I'm like, who's running the show over there? It's stupid. So this is the thing. Here's the latest. I will say this. I'm hopeful with it. I just need them to kind of follow through. It says this: China calls for ceasefire between Russia and Ukraine. Beijing called for the elimination of Western sanctions against Russia. I get that. As part of a 12-point proposal to end the fighting that started 1 year ago. U.S. is skeptical of the plan. I get that. And I get where they're kind of going with that. But I really hope he really just does the right thing and just stands up and says, you know what, guys? Let's just stop. I would be all right with that, Jess. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm okay with it. I mean, just, do we really need to be fighting each other? It's stupid.
Yeah. Thank you. Let's see. It says a couple things on this about Zelensky. I get that. China called for a ceasefire, peace talks between Ukraine and Russia in what they call a vaguely worded proposal released today that analysts said was unlikely to deliver results. Oh, that makes sense a little. All right. Zelensky said there were points in the Chinese proposals that he agreed with, and there are those that they don't. Okay, all right, that makes sense. Yeah, he says, but it's something. Okay, so Zelensky's listening, and now I think the question is, will Russia listen, and will China be, in a way, strong enough to say, what's wrong with you? I don't know if they will, Jess. I don't know if they will.
Yeah, I highly doubt Putin will listen to anyone, but you never know. I mean, if they can stop the bloodshed, I'm for it. They really need to do something. Somebody needs to do something. Without it, the nukes are the only thing that's stopping everybody at this current moment. That's all I got to say.
Someone's lying to China. It says it's accused the West of provoking the conflict and fanning the flames for providing Ukraine with defensive arms. Okay, I see that. They might come in like brother. Oh man, I was so hopeful for this. It says Zelensky suggested that China's help could be useful in trying to isolate Russia. Oh, he's not going to help you. I'm sorry. It says our task is to gather everyone to isolate the one. Yeah, there's no isolating that guy. The plan released by China's foreign ministry reiterated long-held positions, and analysts says Beijing would be an unlikely broker. I get that. In other words, I'd be like, well, fine, we're kind of in bed with each other because we're next to each other. It says calls for the sovereignty, independence, and territorial integrity of all countries to be respected, but does not say what will happen to the territory Russia has occupied since the invasion. It calls for an end to unilateral sanctions on Russia. I get that. Like, hey, that's our neighbor. Let's not. Because I get what's going to go next. They're going to do sanctions on China soon. That's what's happening back to the Pacific. So it's bad. It's bad. It's getting to but at least I will say this. Not saying I'm a fan of, because I saw some information coming in from China about some I don't know if it's true. I don't know if it's being, because you're going to see a lot of propaganda from both parties. You know what I mean? You're going to see U.S. propaganda, you're going to see Russia propaganda, and you're going to see China propaganda. And then you're going to see probably like Korea propaganda at some point. So you got to be careful of propaganda, okay? Yeah, I said the P word. It's a thing. Don't do propaganda. You got to like see all sides, say, hey, by the way, who attacked first? It wasn't Ukraine attacking Russia. Russia is the big dog in the room. They can defend themselves. They're acting like, oh, we're so like, no. No, Ukraine is, like I keep saying this, go west, okay? But what Russia wants is territory. Belarus is like, hey, let's get more territory. And Russia's like, yeah, let's do it. They're doing dumb, man. They're ganging up on the poor. That's where it's at. So when you understand that, and then you understand, and I get it. People are seeing Biden over there and be like, okay, but he's been giving support, not as much as I think he could. Back to Afghanistan. Afghanistan, they pulled out of that. They left all their stuff behind. Like, here you go. So that's going to be a thing to rear its ugly head at some point. You've got Turkey. You've got Syria. The Euphrates River is drying up. Thank you for that information, Jess. So I say this, like, everybody's being moved in a way to, like, if we just don't do that, look, if somebody says Megiddo, I'm out of here, man. If somebody says Megiddo, you know what Megiddo is, right, Jess?
No, I do not. Please tell me.
No, you don't want to know.
No, wait. No. The last person that said you don't want to know, I wanted to know, and I
well,
really
Euphrates,
didn't.
when you said Euphrates yesterday, okay, when we were talking about drying up of the canal and all that, and then you said the Euphrates River, I had my mom look it up. I said, Ma, look it up.
Mm-hmm.
She looked it up in Revelation. The Euphrates River would dry up. Now, there's been history of it drying up, but it talks about certain bowls of things of, like if you look it up, it's very interesting. I had to write it down. I think it's Revelation either 16:12 or 12:16. I can't remember. It's in one of those. Go look it up. Anyway, then one of the latest ones talks about all of them kind of being in a way, and everyone that knows the Bible or talks about prophecy knows Megiddo. If they go to Megiddo, which is a part of, like, you don't want to know. But if all of it says kings, but if the nations or the presidents of the world, in essence, all gathered to Megiddo, bye-bye. That's all I can say about that, Jess. I would be like, and we're almost there with the way everybody's kind of getting, like, positioned. So, yeah. Israel just struck at Gaza. You know what I mean? So I'm like, okay, Israel back in the news of, like, so all of it's happening in 1 week, Jess. And if you do the research, you go, oh, why? Everybody's got missile. I even saw some guy, he was an army guy, Jess, and he's like, yeah, part of him you could tell wanted to go to war, and the other part's like, we have so much stuff that could destroy us so quick. It's not like it was at World War I or World War II with, like, a little plane. These bombs are big, and now they're going into the air, and when they come down, bye-bye. You know what I mean, Jess?
Yeah, that I remember reading an article. I'm kind of like weary to share it with you now about a bunch of, like, sinkholes that popped up in Turkey. You'll probably end up trying to connect the dots with it.
I already connected the dots. Can I help you? Can I help you? Tectonic platelet shift. Okay, it's already happened. When it comes out, and it will, okay, it'll come out that it's not a fault line that was triggered. It was a tectonic shift. We've had another earthquake in the last couple of days, another 6er, close to a 7er. And the way it shifts, I looked at some of the footage. I go, oh, man, this is bad. So I got to talk to my geologist friend. He works with pretty big people up in the, I don't ever say what his name is. But what my point is this. Jess, go ahead and say what you're going to say, and then we'll connect the dots.
No. It was just like, it happened last year in random times where, these mysterious sinkholes started popping up in vast numbers on certain locations.
Yeah, the earth gives way.
Yep.
And it'll continue, Jess.
Yep, it's crazy.
Because what happens next is this. You ready for it, Jess?
Unless giant dinosaurs come out of there.
No, that's multidimensional. That doesn't happen.
We want dinosaurs. We don't want dragons.
See, you wanted to be an egg for something. Okay, my point is this. Look, what happens next is magma, okay? Magma will come up and out. Now, they're already seeing steam in some of these areas. I looked at some of the footage. They put, and I love that they did this. You know those like what do they call it? Like those aerial things that they put up in the air, and then they showed the before. I don't know how they did this. It was really smart. They showed the before, and then they showed the after, and it's unrecognizable. You would think like it's a movie. You know how they add effects and stuff. Anyway, that's the situation in Turkey, Syria. Okay, but it being felt all the here's the information, Jess. Here's the information. Go check it out. This one's gonna really interest you. You're gonna say, of course, there it is, right there. In Africa, they're already estimating how it's breaking off, and there's a river being formed, and now it's like a ocean coming in, and it'll basically be an island on the right-hand side. Did you know that, Jess?
Isn't that what I told you? Part of Africa is breaking off.
Oh, I'm late to the party on that.
But you were like, what? You didn't believe me at first. Now that you saw it, yeah. So there's like, it looks huge, right?
It's huge. So this one, I think, is related to that one. I think they're all the same shift, if that makes sense.
It very well might be. We learn new things every day.
Yeah. So I think they're related, and I think, and again, this hasn't happened yet. Okay, it's breaking off, which is very important that people understand. It's breaking off. So by their estimation, Africa will be, you know how people draw Africa now and they're like, oh yeah, that's Africa. In the next, I would say probably, it's going to take a while. Maybe like, I don't know how long. But this was the guesstimation of where Africa is going to be. And this is actually what's happening, I think, in Syria and Turkey and even, you know. So if you look at that, that's the situation. In about, you know, I don't know how many years they're kind of guesstimating. I would say probably that's a good anywhere from, I don't really know. I'm not going to throw it out there because I think that's a really big divide, but it's kind of going that way. So Africa will look kind of like, it's breaking off, all right? And the river won't separate. It's the earth tectonic shifts happening again. When that happens, they trigger each other because one's got to move one way, the other's got to move the other way. Water will rise in certain areas. I say always go very, up. Talk about an island, Jess. It'll be an island, but people, if they're on the edge, will suffer. So I say move inland. If anything, move to the bigger of the two islands, and then just wait for it to split off, and then you can go back if you want to. You know what I mean? But that's what we're going through. That's what the Earth has gone through years. I think we're at a very interesting time where people are going, didn't know this was a thing, and so there you go. But they're calling it a new continent already, Jess.
Yeah, it's a little bit too early for that.
Anyway, there you go, people. We're gonna go. We're out of time. Make a great day. Whatever we do, remember life is living. Wow. Bye-bye, everyone. All right, as Jess freezes over there. Okay, I'm going to say this real quick, all right, before we go. This is information that I need you just to understand, because I really didn't get to this 100%. They're calling it the Great Rift Valley. It runs through eastern Africa. It's split from Africa to form a new continent is what they're saying is probably going to happen. It's a guesstimation. The Earth is splitting open in certain areas, but again, it would be a tectonic shift, okay? That's basically what's happening. So yeah, I didn't know this was a thing, and I don't remember just ever mentioning it, to be honest. But the point is this: be ready for a seismic shift. That's all I can say. If you're in the area of that part of the world, okay, there's gonna be so many aftershocks, so many like tremors that people are gonna go, what? If you look at footage and you look at how these buildings collapse, it's like, whoa. I would rather, I'll be honest, I'd rather be one of those balloons for like the rest of like, if I were in that area. In the area here in the U.S., I think we have a problem as well coming. A lot of people are saying San Andreas, but I think there's a new one coming under, and you gotta map the plates, how they all shift and corral. If you remember research about like all of them together at some point and them splitting apart, they go through like every now and then. But I think the Earth is getting smaller because the magma underneath has shifted so much. Back to the core, they're saying it's all related when you compare it. The core, they say, has stopped spinning and may like reverse and go the other way. Recently, I saw a report where they say it may have an inner core of the core, and I'm like, that's interesting. I never knew that. But the point is this: we really got to just prepare, honestly, to be high ground. Be high ground when these things start happening. That's the only thing that you could be ahead of, and never be on the edge of it. Okay, if you are on the edge of a tectonic plate, move to the bigger land. Bigger land will always survive. I'll give you an example. Everybody says, in the U.S., they theorize Florida will be, because it's already at sea level, right? Yes, Florida will be underwater, obviously. California, some say, kind of like movies, would it split into the ocean at some point? The answer, I don't know. I'm not, they say the San Andreas, but I don't know. I think that the plate probably is further west in the Pacific. So I think we're kind of good here, but it would cause a lot of destruction here on the West Coast, and it could cause a tsunami to come on into, and that would create a problem for everyone. Like Japan. Japan has had so many problems with that. They're kind of like, yeah, what else? You know what I mean? So, but you just got to be careful with that. So I think if we're going to have an earthquake, we'll probably have an earthquake the next, it just depends what happens next. I would say watch for the next few months. Yeah, anywhere from the next 3 to 4 months. Let's see, it's now February 24th, actually. So February 24th, March, April, May, June, okay? So anything from now to June, see what happens. And then you can kind of estimate, okay, if there's more big earthquakes from now to then, anything like 6, 7, and 8 consistently, especially in a particular region, then a big one is coming, probably by the end of the year. Will it come here? I don't know. Will it come there? Yeah, absolutely it's going to happen. And if it doesn't happen, yay. But if it does happen, yikes. I do talk to people, other than you guys, because we get a lot of great, our show does attract a lot of interesting, very scientific people and very just interesting people. Biologists, all kinds of things. So sometimes you go, where's this information coming from? I'll be honest, it's from a conversation I had. And this person was very smart. And he said this, look, there's a problem and it's going to happen at some point. He said, that theory that he had about all happening and the cold shift coming? He goes, well, that's what's happening in essence right now. I said, okay, that makes sense. I said, but what happens when it gets warm? Because people go, well, it's just the normal cold. He goes, no. The cold shift is already happening. That's why we're having extreme weather in certain areas. There's some areas that say, oh, it's a repeat. He goes, it's not a repeat. There are some things that we're looking at. It looks like the Antarctic now in certain areas that never was. So that shift that you talked about, year ago, and I think, more like in 2023, so 2022, or I think 2021, I was starting to talk about it at the end. I don't remember. Anyway, the point is, he goes, look, I listen and I get it, and I agree with you. He said, what's happening is the Earth is, in a way, there's a lot of things going on we don't understand. We're in space, we're looking at things beyond, but we're looking in a way the wrong way. We need to look more at the Earth and direct every single telescope to the Earth, if that makes sense. We need to look at the Earth, and we need to look at how it is moving, because we're at a very interesting time where a lot of destruction will happen. And a lot of things will be all the things we theorized in science and through computer models and through quantum computing and all that will be, oh, here it is, and we have it for years to come for the future generations of generations. If we survive that long, he said. I said, okay, well, that's a little concerning, but okay. So he said, look, here's the thing that you need to understand. One way or the other, there's going to be people alive through it all. But in certain areas, they may have such a problem that it's going to be a problem probably in around the Middle East. He goes, no one pays attention to the Middle East because it's, war. He goes, but there's something that you say, and he goes, I've been following that. He goes, we're scientists. We don't believe in that sort of thing. We're in essence, he used the big A word, atheist. I go, oh, that's fine. No big deal. I don't care. He goes, but in a way, I'm seeing it kind of add up in a weird way. He goes, and I said, don't do the R word because you hate that. He goes, yeah, I do. He said, look, but here's the thing. Everything you're saying on that show is actually real. He goes, and the thing about that is no one's listening. He goes, but if they did, they would understand you have a pretty good ratio of things, maybe not all the time on, but a good ratio of things on most of the time. And I said, well, thank you for that. I'm glad, but no one listens. He goes, yeah, but man. He goes, okay. So anyway, he said, if you can make sense of this, make sense. He goes, just tell people in a way that things will happen, but be prepared for. I can't say the way he said it because it was very big. And I go, people always go, why do you always go big? I go, you don't understand, man. I talk to people that know big and then they prepare for it. They send in aid, they send in, things that can help people. They're the ones to say behind the scenes, but sometimes government doesn't listen to them. And they don't want to go on record because they don't want to be, wrong. You know what I mean? But they kind of turn to me and say, you can be wrong. No one pays attention to you. I said, okay, that's fine. I said, look, here's the thing. The best way to say it for everyone listening and anyone tuning in right now is this. Be prepared for a seismic shift in the Pacific and or Middle East, okay? That area is going to have a huge, huge, huge thing coming. Yeah, so just be careful. There it is, okay? Now, if I could say what I wanted to say, I would say this. Be prepared for things to happen probably in the next year or so when it comes to people saying, can we move in with you? Because there's going to be so many people displaced. There's going to be, I'll give you an example. In Ukraine, a lot of people are displaced, okay? They're going to Poland, they're going to other areas, and some are staying. I say get out of there. There's no reason to stay. There really isn't. But when it comes to, areas like Russia, China, and those areas, they may be impacted by this tectonic shift, which will literally rock them. And they'll be like, oh, my God, what do we do? So I say, in essence, be prepared for things to go really weird in the next year or so. I didn't even say next few years because, people have been looking at water and just a bunch of stuff when it comes to magma. Magma is going to create a problem in certain areas. People are going to say, what's going on? We're already having problems in space with asteroids, okay? And there's very smart people doing the research on that, and they're saying there's dark asteroids they don't even know coming. They had a few come in all around the world, but in a way we're going through, and they'll probably announce in a while, that we're going through, or maybe they won't, I don't really know, but we're going through a asteroid belt, okay? They haven't really said it. They've been saying, oh, look, that one dodged us, but there's been a few already reported in just a week alone. So if you do the math on that, you go, okay, it comes from up, from beneath. What's going on, right? So I say this, just look, you can't stress about it. You can't stress about it. But you be prepared for it, okay? So do that. Be prepared for it, okay? Love the people around you. Say, okay, we're going to band together. And worst case scenario, we can, if we had to, we can move in together. Just don't get each other sick. Because that's coming. Somebody said recently, I was interviewed, they said, what do you mean be ahead of it? And I said, look, we're not ahead of it. I keep saying this on the show, sometimes in the after show program. And if you ever see any of the videos and it's a long video past an hour, I'm probably talking at the end. But the point is this. How do I say? Okay, it's very simple. It's a little overwhelming, not going to lie. Okay, but let's put it this way. We've survived through the worst of it. We can survive the rest. I mean, sure, Robot Wars is coming. We get that. We talked about that on the show, whatever. Look, when an earthquake happens, people pay attention. But when a plate shifts of the earth, that's more than a fault line. And that's really what this guy was wanting to say, in essence. He was trying to say it. He really was. But the point is this. When it all comes out, you go, what do we do next? And I say, don't do that. Be prepared for it when it happens. Know that you always go inland and up. High. Okay, do that. Yeah. Just be prepared for the asteroids to come. So that's all I'm going to say. All right. There you go. That's the information. Somebody warned you. It's me. Anyway, other than that, go have fun with your fam. Do it safely and then enjoy the rest. All right, people. Make it a great day, whatever you do. Remember, life is worth living. Live it well. Bye-bye, everyone.